Alright, what's good, everybody? Well, welcome y'all back to another episode of 101 with 8, man.
Yay.
Man, y'all already don't know. I got my special guest here with me. I'm gonna let her introduce herself, yo.
My name Toody Badd.
Yeah.
They call me president of fucking Hoochie Mamas.
El Presidente, you heard? Got the El Presidente in the building,
Gang.
man. Hey, yo, so first thing first, though. For those who don't know you, right? Let's tell them a little bit about you. Where you from? Where Toody Badd ass from? Where does she identify?
Well, Toody is from the Southwood.
Okay.
You know, born and raised in the Southwood area, the Bergen Street area. You know, Lons, Lehigh, Bergen, Shepherd, Mapes. Shit. You know, that's my neck of the woods. The Weekway section. You know. A lot of people don't know, but I'm a coordinator at a school, at a private career school. I'm also a director at a daycare. You know, I got 3 kids. One of them not mine, but, you know, he is. 19, 13, 6. You know, I'm 30, just turned 30. You know, people see me and they don't know. They probably like, oh, you know, she's just from the hood. But, you know, I went to school. I got 2 degrees. I got an associate's. I got a bachelor's. I went to Essex County and I went to King.
Okay.
So, you know, I ain't no airhead, you know.
You ain't no slouch with it.
Nah.
Yeah, and that's one thing we definitely, you know, for those of us who do know you, we do know that, you know what I'm saying? But, what you go to school for? What even made you want to go to school, first and foremost?
Well, I actually went to school because, you know, going to Weekway, a lot of females back in 08, 09, 010 was known for dropping out. Like, just known for just, oh, I'm about to go be with this nigga and not finish school, you know. So I wanted to really make my mother and my grandmother proud, you know. So that was my goal. Like, I'm like, I ain't really want to go to college. I just want to just jump straight out of school and, you feel me, just go get a job. But that wasn't good enough for my mother or my grandmother. It was like, all right, you can get a job, but you can actually get a job and go to school. So why not do both? You got the potential. So that's what I did. I jumped into Essex County. You know, it's a public, you know, community college. Yeah, went there 2 years straight, got my associates, knocked it out, and then I got active, got straight into King, you know. Made him proud though, you know. So it was like, you know, she listening, she following instructions. So, you know, the fact that I did it 2 years straight and actually listened to my mom and my grandmother, you know, it made them proud. So it was like, you know, what we do? Like, you know, they was souped up, you know. It was happy for me.
Because they tested you and you arose to the occasion, right?
Yeah,
like,
and outside of that, it's like the biggest thing with me going to college was, first of all, I got pregnant in high school.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't really out here, you know, like a lot of girls was, you know, but I started trying to be down, you know, with the gang. You know, I wound up getting pregnant. I'm the only one in my gang wound up getting pregnant in high school. But when that happened, I had my daughter in 11th grade. I had a point to prove with my mother and my grandmother, like, you know, I made a mistake, but I'm going to fix it. You know, I'm going to fix this by going to school, you know, showing y'all I am what y'all said I was, baby and all. So y'all babysit her. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do what's right, you know, and that's how that happened.
Yeah, and that's definitely a big shout out to her, you know what I mean, to your baby girl. She's definitely getting big now, man. She
13.
Big.
She about to go to the 8th grade.
That's
deep
what's up.
for me, you know.
And you came in 11th grade, high school, you get pregnant. What's some of the things that you heard when you heard that you was pregnant? Like did you ever experience people talking, you know what I mean, doubting you, counting you out, or?
Absolutely. It was never anything positive, you know, and I was never like a troublemaker or one of those females in school where everywhere you go people don't like you or you beefing. I was very, very, very well liked in school, you know, like my teachers, everybody loved me, you know. Raz, he was the principal at the time. No, not Raz, I'm sorry, Mr. Stone, you know.
Stone was principal.
Stone, you know, he even bought me my stroller, you know, all them little sweet things. But a lot of people in schools looking at it like, if she young as hell, she ain't gonna be able to do shit. Her mother gonna be taking care of her baby. Her grandmother, whoever she lived with, gonna be taking care of this baby, you know. So, you know,
you heard this.
It was fucking with me mentally. So it's like, damn, I'm young, I'm 16, having my first baby, didn't even know I was pregnant, you know. Had my mother and my family found out, my teacher called home. Like, yo, Taisha getting big. She's gaining weight in her stomach area. This girl, you know, she got a body, she's young. But I'm telling you, your daughter's pregnant. I came home from school one day in high school, book bag, trying to be cute, put my pocketbook down, went in my bed. My mother like, yo, take a pregnancy test.
Right then and there.
Right then and there. And it came back positive. I didn't even know I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And then once I took that test, it's like as time went on, I started to see the changes. I started growing and growing. But the worst part of my pregnancy was I was 8 months pregnant, going into my ninth month.
When you found out?
No, I found out when I was 7 months. I found out I was pregnant with 7 months with my first child. Found out I was 7 months with my first child. And what happened was I went home, you know, I took the pregnancy test, they found out, everything happened, cool. A month later, 4 weeks later, I got a phone call from one of my homegirls.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, I think you should call your baby father family because I think he dead.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here saying, you know, I'm young. You know, I was 16, he was 19. So I'm like, he ain't dead, you know.
Yeah.
He in the house.
What you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the time he's living with his dad, his, you know, his mom.
Yeah.
He ain't dead. I made a phone call. I was outside my school week way, made the phone call. I'm young, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I did make the phone call. His grandmother confirmed. She said, yo, Cal died in Delaney Hall in his sleep. My baby father had an asthma attack and died in jail.
Yeah.
And I was 8 months pregnant. That was in September of 2007.
Yeah.
October 2007, I had my first child.
Without the father.
Without the father.
That was
First
deep.
child.
Yeah. So now this extra shit that's dumped onto your plate because, you know, going into it, you're expecting it's a tame thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I bet I'm young. You know what I mean? I got this baby on the way, but, you know what I mean? Got the father thing.
Right.
Then one day you wake up, going on about your everyday life. Now the father gone.
Exactly.
You're a pregnant teen. Your mind goes, where after this?
My mind actually went into a numb mode because I had never been pregnant before. It was my first child. I'm thinking I'm still in high school. I'm still a baby. I'm still living in my mother's house.
Yeah.
I don't know no better.
Yeah.
I ain't even got no car. I ain't got no job. I'm literally in school and I'm just stuck.
Yeah.
So a week after he died, I was at my sister Sade house. Well, she my cousin, but you know, we was, you know, raised in sisters mode, sister, whatever. I'm at her house on Vassar, and it hit me. I was sitting in her kitchen. I was just, you know, talking to her, whatever, and I was telling her, you know, he died, whatever. You know, my family was like, oh my God, because at one point in time, he used to come to our house looking for me.
Got you.
But, you know, I wasn't there. You know, I couldn't tell my mother, you know, I got a
Yeah.
boyfriend, so
Yeah.
I'm hiding in my, you know, I'm hiding in the house. So he would come there ringing the bell with a trench coat on looking for me at her house, but not at my house, seeing, you know, at the time I was right around the corner. You know, that's how I was busting my move.
Exactly. Mom dudes don't know.
Right. But my sister, you know, they my family know, you know, but they kept them down low.
Yeah.
And once I told her what happened, I was sitting there, I was 8.5 months pregnant now.
Okay.
Sitting in her kitchen area, and my body shut down. My body shut down, and before I knew it, I was on the floor. I had a seizure. I had never had a seizure a day in my life. I had a seizure on the floor. I think I was losing oxygen to my brain. They called the ambulance. From my understanding, the last thing I recall, they picked me up, took me to the hospital. They told me I was 2 centimeters or whatever. You know, they wound up letting me leave the hospital or whatever. And 2 weeks later, I had my daughter, which was in October.
And so you then had a mental breakdown,
And didn't
your
even
body,
know it.
Yeah, your body just responded to
My
it.
body responded. I never knew what a mental breakdown was. I never knew what hurt was.
Yeah.
I never knew what the real definition of pain was. Like none of those things. So it's like once that happened,
Yeah.
I understood life.
Yeah. And safe to say it kind of. So I'll let you answer, but did it make you like when you woke up from that? Did it make you, you know, go harder, or did it make you like kind of scale it back a little bit?
It actually didn't make me either. It actually made me mellow.
Okay.
Because now I'm sitting here thinking I can't lose strength
Okay.
But now I know what pain feels like, so I can't gain strength, so I'm in between.
Gotcha.
So it made me mellow.
Gotcha.
So, you know, we wound up burying him, and by the way, me and another young lady was pregnant at the same time.
Okay.
Her name is Angelique.
Mm-hmm.
Me and her, like this. And you don't get that with females a lot of times. You
Right.
get the, oh, I'm the baby mother, or I'm the baby mother, or I'm the girl. You ain't his girl. Let me tell you something. That's my baby mother right now.
Yeah.
And we raise our daughters to be the best sisters they can possibly be. Like, we sister wives, you might as well say. Like, I love her to death. We sister wives. You can't tell me nothing about her. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Like, you can't tell, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But me and another young lady was pregnant at the same time. She was 4 months. I was 7 months. We wound up having birth 4 months apart. I had my daughter in October. She had her daughter in February. They look just alike. And my sister my daughter loved her sister. Love her. Like, love her. They, you know, look just alike. And that's how it's supposed to be in life. It's not supposed to be, oh, that's not your sister. That's not your brother. It's supposed to be, listen, we don't know what this man was doing behind closed doors. So at the end of the day, y'all sisters or y'all brother and sister, and that's how it is. And we gonna handle it.
End the story.
And we gonna deal with it. Straight like that.
And I definitely commend y'all too for that, right? Because we need more unification, right? So what I like to say is, when you family, you all on the same team, regardless of what.
Right.
And regardless of personal feelings or emotions, nothing changed the facts.
Right.
The facts is they share a father. So fuck how y'all two feel, how y'all may have felt against each other personally, or how it came about. We got to deal with the what is.
Right.
And at the end of the day, this is the what is.
And the what is also, a lot of females don't understand. You can be with a man every single day, every single night, and that man will still live a double life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That man will still live a double life, and you may not know it because that's how smooth they are with it.
Yeah.
And I learned that with that one experience. But let me tell you something. I would never let that break the relationship my daughter has with her sister.
It has no right.
And if she called me for anything,
Good.
Angelique gonna get whatever she wants, and that's a fact.
And that's what's up.
Because I know that's what my baby father would have wanted us to do. And if he was here right now, he'd be tooting his horns to both of us. Like, you know what, y'all doing y'all thing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of y'all. Because a lot of females just can't get along because they let pride, they let a man get in the way of a relationship with kids. And it should never be that way.
It should never be
It never should be that way.
It should never be that. And, you know, us as a people, as a whole, we have to work on that. And they have to continue to see people like us leading the charge with it, right? Like, we're not letting nothing come in between our parenting.
Yeah.
And we have to exemplify that, and we got to wear that shit proud. And so let's get into what you got going on now with the El Presidente rule, right? Because that's a role that you play.
Let me pull something up, you know, because a lot of people be like, you know, oh, that's the president, she a hoochie mama, she ain't got no respect.
How did that even come about?
Okay.
Let's start from there. Let's start from day one.
I was like this. One day, I woke up and I actually was having a bad day. The reason why I was having a bad day was because February this year, a lot of people may not know, but let me just give you some background history. 2017, I lost my mother. She was 40 years old. She was really, really young. I took her to the hospital. She told me she had a stomach ache.
Okay.
Her birthday was September 23rd. I took her to the hospital September 25th.
2 days after.
Right.
Gotcha.
4 days later, September 29th, my mother died.
Just like that. She
died. Her organ shut down. Come to find out, she has growth to the liver. So she pretty much, if people don't know what that is, it's alcohol. You know, alcoholism.
Okay.
She drank herself to death. So when that happened, you know, I was actually a teacher at the time. I was, you know, working at Robert Tree Academy, #1 charter school in New Jersey. You know, so I left work, came there. You know, I thought, you know, when the doctors called me, I just thought she wanted something to eat because she had called me prior to. And when they told me her organs had shut down and she was on 100% life support, you know, it changed me.
Yeah.
You know, like I went completely numb, like not my mother.
Gotcha.
You know, and it's like I hate the fact that it's true, but I must say I hate that we live to die.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize my mother was going to die so soon. Mm-hmm. So it's like once that happened, and you know, once I hit that phase in my life where I didn't have no mother or my father, because my father got killed back in '97.
Gotcha.
You know, he was a big time drug dealer, you know, from Bergen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But once that happened, you know, it brought me down.
Okay.
I was walking around angry,
mm-hmm.
mad at the world.
Mm-hmm.
Just like my life was full of chaos, you know.
Yeah.
Then I was going through a separation with my son, father, my last child father, you know.
Okay.
So once that happened, it just ruined my life. Like I was going through a real life crisis, and I was crying out for help,
mm-hmm.
but people couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
But they would see me physically,
mm-hmm.
but they couldn't hear me. And it's a big difference between seeing
difference.
somebody and feeling somebody,
It's
you know.
huge
And they couldn't understand me, and they
yeah.
couldn't feel my pain, but they would see me.
Yeah.
And you know, I actually wound up going to jail,
Uh-huh.
you know, because I really can't get into the whole politics, you know. But I went to jail one time. I came home.
Mm-hmm.
I went to jail another time.
Mm-hmm.
I came home.
Mm-hmm.
But that third time I went to jail, I actually wound up having to stay for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I tell people all the time,
yeah.
when they come to these men, married,
mm-hmm.
unmarried,
mm-hmm.
boyfriend,
mm-hmm.
no boyfriend,
mm-hmm.
fucking with them, sleeping with them, creeping with them,
mm-hmm.
side nigga, if it's going to jeopardize your livelihood, your freedom,
mm-hmm.
your kids, but most of all your bag,
mm-hmm.
it ain't worth it. You know, and that's what I learned.
Yeah.
And I promised myself when I came home in 2019,
Yeah.
I'm never going back. I'm never going back. It's time for me to level up. It's time for me to just be a different person.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the only person I had left in this world
mm-hmm.
that was pushing me to go that direction is saying, not Toody, but Taish, you got it.
Yeah.
You got the potential. Keep going forward.
Yeah.
Was my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even when, you know, people was, you know, posting my RLS media shit, you know,
Yeah.
because I hit the news, oh, she wanted for aggravated assault, all
mm-hmm.
these things. When I was on the run,
mm-hmm.
my grandmother, 84, was on the run with me. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was by myself.
Yeah.
You running, I'm running with you.
Yeah.
Get the kids, you know, get switch cars, whatever you gotta do. I'm running with you. I'm never leaving you by your side. You know, I'm never leaving you by yourself. And grandma was a real one.
Yeah.
Grandma was a real one. My grandmother got 13 kids with one man, so you know she's a real one.
She's a real one.
But she never left my side, you know. And things took a turn. You know, I wound up moving her in with me recently because I came home in 2019.
Yeah.
Here we are, 2020,
Mm-hmm.
November, Thanksgiving time.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom at my house because I moved in with me, and I noticed some blood specks.
Uh-huh.
So I thought it was my daughter. So you know, me being a mother, I'm like, you know, tidy up after yourself. Make sure you clean up. Come to find out, it wasn't my daughter that was bleeding. It was my grandmother. So I'm like, all right, grandma, something's wrong, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
We're gonna take you to the doctor. Took my grandmother to the doctor. They did a DNC, which is a test where they, you know, take like tissue to see.
The test it.
Right, to make sure nothing is wrong, no cancer, and lo and behold,
Mm-hmm.
they found out my grandmother had cancer.
Okay.
Now she's 85 at the time.
Uh-huh.
85, so I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh. You go to the X. Yeah, she 85. I got you.
85. I'm thinking, you know, what should I do? First thing was, I'm gonna make sure she go through chemo. I'm gonna make sure she go through radiation.
Uh-huh.
I'm never giving up on you. You know, she all I got.
You
So
can end it. You can end it, then go back in it.
yeah.
Is that the red at the bottom? Yeah, they already they used to 1-on-1 with E over here, man. They know we go live.
I never went live before.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to use it.
Delete.
Yeah, hit the delete, then you're gonna go back in there.
There or here?
At the
Nope,
bottom.
it's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh shit. Oh,
Then
yeah.
go again.
Now.
Hit that.
Boom, I got it. Don't even trip, man. It's 1-on-1 with E, man.
We gonna teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do nothing live.
Just look, make sure it don't black out. You have to put
Mhm.
the code in again.
It shouldn't black out.
Yeah.
But okay,
But long
we're gonna
story
go.
short, I'm sorry.
Nah, we good.
Here we are, 2021. As I explained, you know, my grandmother. I found out she definitely had cancer. She actually had uterine cancer. She's never been sick in her life.
Yeah.
Healthy woman, You know, between her and my mom, they would pick my kids up from school. Once my mother died in September, of 2017, she would take that role.
Okay.
2020, from 2017 to 2020, she would take that role. She would help me out, even if I had to, give money for cabs, how we do, because I'm working, full time. This year came, and she would be in my house, and she actually became bedridden to the point where she couldn't walk. So now here I am, a coordinator at a school. I directed a daycare, a full-time mom. Outside of that, the oldest, which is not my son, he's my brother, but my mother is going, so that's my son. He's actually 19 now. And here I am being a soccer assistant and being a primary caregiver for my grandmother. So, I would have to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, change her, feed her, give her medication, make sure she's straight, and then I would go to work to the daycare. From the daycare, I would go to my office. At 9 o'clock from my office, I'll go back to the daycare. Then I'll get home till 6 o'clock. From 6 o'clock, I will go home, change her, feed her, medication, check on my kids, cook dinner. This is an everyday routine from Monday to Friday. And then on the weekends, I pretty much didn't have any time to myself, besides the fact, if my aunts and uncles and things like that, come about. And shout out to them because they helped me out. My cousins, my aunts, my uncles, they played a big part in helping me take care of my grandmother.
Word, definitely shout out to them.
February this year came and I received a phone call because I noticed my grandmother wasn't eating as much as she normally does. So I'm like, okay, me, I'm a home remedy person. So now I'm giving her home remedies. I'm giving her cod liver oil. All those old school remedies. Aloe vera plant. Trying to get her to come back to come back to health. And her doctor told me, he came to my house. He had a conversation with me. My living room, and told me she only got 2 weeks to live. That was in February. February 18th or something like that. 2 days later, went back to work. I got a phone call again. And he was like, listen, those 2 weeks changed in 2 days.
Dang.
And my grandmother, overnight, because I woke up that morning, went to check on her, she was sleeping, so I just gave her medicine under her tongue, washed her, changed her, everything, went to work, and he called me and said, she only got 2 days to live. Her organs just shut down. And she's not in the hospital, she's actually in my house, my residence. So I'm like, okay. I went to work, I was, still at work. I sat there for about 4 hours, but I called my aunts.
How was you able to digest that when you heard it? Like, how was you able to process that shit?
I couldn't process it. I couldn't process it. I was actually stuck at work for like 4 hours. My boss was like, yo, Top, you gotta go home. Because they see the animosity, they see the hurt, they see the pain in my face, but I'm not a sucker, and I don't, it's hard for me to cry. It's hard for me to cry, and when I do cry, it's like, it come down, when it rain, it pour. So it's like, oh God, I'm trying not to right now, but when that day happened, I sat at work for like 3 or 4 hours. I didn't even tell my boss what was going on until the last hour, and I'm like, listen, the nurse called me and told me my grandma got two days to live. So I sat there, it was like for me to go home. As bad as I didn't want to, I went home. By the time I got there, my entire family was there. All of her kids, because my grandma, like I said, my grandma got 13 kids besides my mother, which makes 13, so it's 12.
It's 12
I'm talking about they was catching flights from Atlanta, driving out from Pennsylvania, you name it, they were there. Because a lot of them are Marines, they're teachers, they're cops.
They actors.
Right, different things. And, a lot of my close friends were there. Shout out to y'all, Camille, Deli, well, Nene's my cousin, but, she was there, Butter, all these, my sister Charissa, Dashni, all these people, my aunt Shantae, all these people were there for me, that I really, really needed. It's more, y'all, don't get me wrong, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
They understand.
But hours, were passing by. I was home, everybody was coming to my house to see her. I wasn't giving up, though. I was still giving her medication. I was in the room talking to her, like, Grandma,
don't... business as usual.
Business as usual. Grandma, don't do this.
Let's handle this shit.
I didn't see it coming.
Gotcha.
And sometimes when death is coming or death is near, you try to prepare for it, but when that day comes, you can't prepare for it. And when that day came, You know, my family was there. I was outside. Like, I couldn't even go upstairs. You know, let my family.
Yeah.
It was
Had
like
they time.
30 of us. I'm not even exaggerating. To the point where I came and said, like, you know, who spent the night? You know, who doing what? You know, and it was about 10 o'clock that night. It was actually my Aunt Sandy's birthday. 10 o'clock that night. Between 10 o'clock and 10:30. I went in the room. I gave her her last bit of medication.
Okay.
I kissed her. I said, "Grandma, you gonna be all right?" And I peeked my head out her room because at the time she was actually my daughter's room, but I put the hospital bed in there, you know.
Gotcha.
So they would share the room. And shout out to my daughter because she's 13. But let me tell you something. When the nurse would leave, my daughter would call me, "Mom, you know, Grandma need to be changed. Ma, I just fed Grandma. Ma, I'm in the bed with Grandma reading her book." Like little things that count to me. My daughter held it down. Shout out to my daughter and my little brother Rashid. But anyway, I gave her medication under her tongue because at the time, that particular day, her doctor gave me morphine to give to her. And I put it underneath her tongue. And I peeked out the door like this to ask my aunt, like, Crystal, Nene, you know, y'all spend the night? And Crystal was like, I'm staying. And then it was like, you know, she going home. And I peeked back in the room and my grandmother was stiff.
Just that fast.
She was stiff.
Yeah.
And the last little bit of things I do remember was me just screaming, saying, "Grandma, no." You know, "Grandma, no, don't do this to me."
Because all your plans that you had building up, like,
it just went down the drain.
And that's the thing with life and death. They both take your drains and they spit them shits out at you.
Yeah.
Because you can't prepare for it.
No.
As much as you want to psychologically, mentally, whatever you got to tell yourself, nothing prepared
I
you
wasn't
for it.
prepared for it.
Nah.
So me and my little brother, because at the time she had lost so much weight. My grandmother was I want to say like 210 solid.
Okay.
But with the cancer taking over her, she wound up being like my son. Me and my little brother picked her up off the bed and got her on the ground. My family, you know, was calling 911. But, you know, me, I'm just not giving up because at the time it's just like unbelievable.
Yeah.
We doing CPR. I'm giving my grandmother mouth to mouth. I'm running down the stairs, the ambulance, you know, EMT. I'm grabbing the EMT, begging him like, "Yo, you know, please help me." And like, I know, I even grabbed the officer. The officer like just looked at me and he gave me that look in his face because he felt so bad. Like, it's nothing I can do to help this girl, but I'm still gonna come with her. And they came me upstairs, and it was over. It was over. So I put her back in the bed. We put a pink blanket on her. That was it. And the funeral home came and picked up at my house.
And that was
this year.
That was February this year.
February this year. And with me losing my father, me losing my mother, me losing my grandmother, me losing my older brother Ransom, you know, and that was a big thing too. People look and see me like, "Oh, she a monster because of her brother." I'm not a monster. I'm a human, just like he was a human.
Absolutely.
You know, he was out here, but guess what? Your family member probably was out here too. Who are you to judge?
Nobody.
Who are you to judge? Maybe he did something to one of your family members. Guess what? Probably one of your family members probably did something to him. Who knows? But nobody deserves to die by the hands of a gun. Period. And that's how I look at it, you know. But for all the bad he did, I just want to say something. He did plenty of good. You know. And with me going through all of those things, you know, I learned to turn my pain into strength, turn my hurt into happiness, and to turn my depression into a turn up, you know, and that's where I'm at today. That's how I became, you know, the president of Hoochie Mamas.
Yeah. And what inspired that? Like, even...
So one day, I was actually sitting around, and I'm like, you know what, I ain't doing that today. My neighbor came upstairs like, "Oh, I got a pull." I was like, "Well, let me borrow it," you know. Playing around with her. Shout out to my neighbors, yo. They love me. I love them too.
Shout out to the
So she came upstairs, and everybody thought I was playing, you know, whatever. Man, I got that screwdriver. Twist that pole up. Twist that pole up. And before you knew it, the pole was up. And The president of Hoochie Mama's arrived, you know.
The president was born.
And, like, outside of people call me the president of Hoochie Mama, I want people to know, you know, outside of that, that's just my way of grieving.
Yeah.
That's my way of me getting through what I've been through in life. Mm-hmm. That's my way of, you know, being happy. Let me tell you something. You'd be surprised. Yeah. I'm the president of Hoochie Mama to everybody else and to y'all. Mm-hmm. But home, I'm Mamiana. My kids don't know what that is. Yeah. You know, because you have to have an on and off button when you live in this type of life. Like, you have to. When I'm at work, I'm Taisha. Yeah. Or I'm Ty. Yeah. When I'm at home, I'm Mamiana. Yeah. But when I'm in the streets, you know, I'm fucking president. You know, that's how it is, you know, but
you always had that outgoing personality. You always had the bright personality. Your personality always commanded attention. Yeah. Right? So this is nothing new. Right? Like, this is nothing new. This is nothing new to your personality and who you are. And I think that you know, just by you going through the amount of trauma that you've been through, right? Like, experiencing all these different traumas and horrific traumas, is you letting your hair down, right? Like you cutting yourself loose, like, because from day one you've always been a nurturing and caring person, right? Like, even how we talk about how you will wake up at 6 a.m., you know what I mean? Take care of your grandmother, feed her, bathe her, go to work, do daycare work. Then from the daycare, you do office work. Then from the office work, you're taking care of the kids again. Then you're taking grandma again. And then you're doing it all over repetitiveness. And it's just like, you've always been in the business of others. You've never really been in the business of self, because you've been a mother since you was what, 17 years old, 16 years old. So you've always been caring for others. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be your kid, whether it be your mother, whether it be your grandmother, whether it be your son or your brother's son. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've always been doing that since you've been 16 years old. So when we see you respond the way that you're responding right now, it's understandable on my end, because I get it. You know what I'm saying? But we do understand that we in the age of social media, and everybody got a voice right now. Everybody got an opinion right now, right? And these social media platforms is letting these voices get louder. But in all actuality and reality, a lot of voices wouldn't even count. Like, a lot of people wouldn't even speak. But the Hoochie Mama, the president, you know what I'm saying? Like, and what now that we know that she's arrived, what she got coming up? What she got coming up?
What I got coming up? Shout out to my hunger, Erica. Her birthday coming up.
Oh shit, Erica B Day.
If you're not in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, you need to make your way out there, because the 26th through the 30th, we taking over. Me being a Hoochie Mama president, you know, I got this job and stuff, so I can't.
You can't.
You know, finagle the way I want to, but I'm gonna be out there from the 27th to the 29th, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, tap in. But let me also tell y'all about tapping in. You gotta be so careful, just in general, like, about who you tap in with and who watching you when you tap in, because you got some people that just be hating. Okay. You ain't gotta be doing nothing in this world. You ain't gotta have a beef in this world. You ain't gotta have an enemy in this world for somebody to be hating on you, and that's facts, okay? Let me give you an example. Give it to me. Y'all all seen me when I was a Hoochie Mama, you know, the other week. Had my boots on, you know, did whatever, had my gender reveal, all these, you know, just fun things to keep me going. Yeah. Somebody decided to report it to my job. I'm gonna bring it right here. I'm gonna put it up. Okay. I'll put it out there. Okay. Brought it up to my job. Let me just say something. What I do off the clock is what I do off the clock. That's first of all. Second, my job hired me because not only do they know that I'm a Hoochie Mama, but they know me, and they know my potential. They know my credentials. They know what I'm capable of, and they know the work that I do. And they know the value of Taisha, not the value of the Hoochie Mama. Yeah. They ain't gonna stop nothing. Yeah. So if you think by reporting me and doing all these things gonna work, it's never gonna work, because I'm gonna always be loyal to my job. You know, and I just want to put that out there. But stay tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we got a lot going on over here. You know what I'm saying? I got the El Presidente here.
Yep.
She rolling.
I'm not stopping.
The gender reveal. What the fuck? What was that about?
Okay.
Give us that. Give us
I need to use the restroom before I get to the gender reveal. Because I might use the bathroom. That was too funny. Yo, where's the restroom? I need a restroom break. Can y'all give me a restroom break?
Hey, yo, we're going on a bathroom break for the first time ever. Stay tuned. 1-on-1 with 8. We'll be back soon, yo. Alright, we can pause it and take the restroom break.
Where's the restroom break? I got it. Which way?
Around this corner. Alright, so we back, everybody, you know what I mean, from the first ever bathroom break, you know what I mean, by yours truly, El Presidente,
Of course I had to use the bathroom, my Hoochie Mama.
Of course, man. So look, Hoochie Mama, we got the Miami joint down. That's going down, alright?
It's going down. If y'all in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, I suggest y'all strongly pull up or tap in because it's going down.
Tap in, man. So, how do they go about tapping in? That's the question. How do they get in contact with you? For those who don't know, where could they find you at?
Well, you're going to find me in Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
So,
that's first of all.
Find me in Miami.
Second, if you want to tap in, you can always join my live.
Mm-hmm.
And a third way, if you want to tap in,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you really want to come, you know, set it up with me. You know, we'll make arrangements, you know, to show you the flights, things of that nature, to get you someplace close.
Yeah.
You know, y'all can always pull with our Airbnb.
Yeah.
You know, get lit with us, you know, all that. Because, you know, we're going to do banana contest. We jumping in the pool, butt, booty ass naked. We don't care, you know.
Contest.
You only live once. And it's like, you might as well just do it, you know. We doing all of these things, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we just going to live, you know. But at the end of the day, we definitely going to have that prep talk where it's like, what you want to be in life, what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is this man treating you right? If he ain't treating you right, then what should you do?
Yeah.
But without being judgmental, because that's the problem with females. They got a habit of judging the next female. Oh, leave him alone. He ain't this, he ain't that. Who you to judge? Your man right next door, my neighbor. Stop judging and start worrying about how to uplift each other. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge nobody.
Yeah.
I will sit back and I will listen to every single last one of my females, friends, associates, situation with a man, because I'm never going to judge you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you advice.
Yeah.
And my advice ain't going to never be leave him alone, curve him, diss him, none of that. My advice going to always be work it out, because if you can work it out, work it out.
Yeah.
Work it out.
And you believe in that?
I believe in that. I stand on that shit. Want to know why?
Well.
Because everybody deserves a second chance. Now, if you blow that, that's on you. Y'all figure it out.
Yeah.
But I'm never that female that's going to say, oh, leave him alone, do this, do that, because you know, at the end of the day, females that tell you to leave them alone the first time, those are females that probably want your man. And you got to watch them. Because they dangerous, they vindictive, and they sneaky, and they conniving. You got to watch females like that. But me, I'm going to keep it a buck. He cheated. Alright, sis, what else?
Yeah.
What man that I ain't saying all men cheat, but what man that you do know ain't cheat? Yeah. Until you find that man, thug it out.
Let's stick to the facts of this.
Thug it out.
Okay.
Thug it out.
Yeah. And what's your Instagram? What could they find you at on IG?
Y'all can find me at Toody _Badd. Well, that's my name. That's what people call me.
Yeah.
You rarely hear people call me Taisha, but that's my name.
Yeah.
You know, my own job don't even call me Taisha. My job like Toody or Ty. You know, like nobody calls me that. If you didn't know me, you would not know my name. You know, but it's TOODY_BADD. You know, y'all can find me there. I keep it real. I keep it a buck. I get along with people.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable enough to go wherever I want to go.
Yeah.
Like you have some females where you can't go where you want to go because somebody don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm good wherever I go. You know, because I'm like a little nigga.
Yeah.
I'm a little boy.
Definitely a little.
And
nigga.
all the boys, you know, we get along.
Yeah.
They rock with me, you
nigga,
know.
Man.
I'm ransom sister. Why wouldn't I? You feel me?
Alright, so Toody Badd, El Presidente, as I like to call you, you know what I'm saying, President of Hoochie Mama.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming through, man, and you know, sharing your journey with us, sharing the story, and you know, keeping it real. You know what I'm saying, and we need that, and we need the authenticity. You know what I'm saying, we need the realism, we need the non-judgmental, and those who don't allow others to judge them, right? We need more of these voices. We need more of this personality, and I definitely want to let you know, you know what I'm saying, keep your head up. You got my support in whatever direction that you choose to go.
New direction.
Absolutely. New direction. That's the only way. That's the only way. And I definitely want to commend you on your strength as well. You know what I'm saying? And having the courage to go through what you've been going through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not over. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only the beginning. And we only as great as we believe ourselves to be. And we can't succumb to other people's expectations or views of us projected by them and put that onto us. Right? We have to be who we are. Regardless of how you see me, that's not for me to live up to. Right? I gotta live up to my own expectations. And as long as I'm comfortable in my own skin, I'm good with being who I am. And that's what you embody. So I definitely want to thank you for coming through, chopping it up with me, and getting it out there. Gang, you know what I mean? Hey yo, so on the 20, what you say, the 26th and
27th, tap in. Hey!
I'm saying, El Presidente, the one and only, man.
Fucking know it.
Toody Badd, yo.
Yeah, watch it, man, and watch your mouth. Gang.
Hey yo, to the next one, yo. We out of here.